Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to this live showdown between the vampire counts led by Heinrich Kemmler and the lizard people. And you know what? We're not sure who their lord is, but it's probably going to be Krokar hunting for some of those big dinosaurs. Granted, Mazdamundi's a pretty good choice too. He does have the banishment, which is very good against like Graveguard and infantry, and of course, Ruination of Cities, not bad either. But as far as our army goes, we do have good old Heinrich. He can summon KRELL, who does have anti-large, but the main reason we get him, well, number one is KRELL. KRELL's pretty good, anti-large. If he's kind of sitting in the pocket, beating on a Basiladon, or even against like Krokar or something, he can do some pretty good work. Granted, most high-level Lizardmen players are just going to be able to avoid him until he decays. But we do have KRELL here, but honestly, Heinrich's is really cheap. I mean, he costs 1,500. He allows you to go pretty wide. I mean, had I got a very expensive Vampire Lord like the Red Duke, who is also very good in his own right, he's a pretty big target, right? So the Lizardmen can really focus a lot of their very expensive resources on him. And Heinrich, yeah, just cheap. He does have the Cloak of Mist and Shadows to give him some hot resistance there, 75%. Definitely not going to complain. In the front line, it's just going to be Graveguard. Honestly, Graveguard with their 90 armor and their bonus versus infantry, which I think is like 5 or 7 or something. Actually 8, not bad. They're able to trade very well with Saurus and Skinks and are pretty durable with their silver shields against skirmishing. And we're going to be going with double Vargulf. So the Vargulfs, of course, pretty good against dinos as well, but not good at dueling like a Krokar or a Saurus Scar veteran. So basically, we want to tie up their big anti-large monsters with our spears and maybe with our Terrorgeist and then swoop in from the side, taking advantage of the speed of the Vargulfs to potentially do some of the heavy lifting. On top of that, we do have 2 Cav units, so we do have the Varix Reavers as well as a group of Black Knights with lances, and they're basically just to hunt Skinks, because Skinks, if they're able to sit with impunity and just shoot at, for example, my Vargulfs, who have like no armor, I think, what is their armor, like 40, 50 in that range? I don't use them terribly often, so I don't have their stats memorized. I do have most units, the stats of most units in this game memorized, but unfortunately not the Vargulfs. We're trying our best here. So we'll see what RG Mushak has got going on. I'm sure there's some shenanigans afoot. But yeah, this matchup, you can go a number of different ways. You can try and win with Blood Knights, but that's a little bit harder in my opinion, simply because of infantry mucking them up. And if you have like a big monstrous unit like a Terrorgeist or one of these Vargulfs, like just kind of they can get to the target they want because they have pretty good mass. They can even push through some Cav and larger units, and it's just nice to have that mobility, I think. I think it's a little bit safer. Blood Knights can be good though, because if there are no big targets, for example, the Blood Knights can then just cycle charge against like Saurus and Skinks, and they can actually do some good damage with their charge bonus. So we are on the Mosquito Swamps. Hopefully there's not going to be enough water for those Skinks to hide in. Let's have a sip of water here. Oh yeah, aquatics might be coming into play here, boys. So a little bit worried about it, but we'll see. Got Wookie back here. Lady Turn back editing some for sweet YouTube videos. Good time for all. We're doing it. Okay, yeah. So this is the map. I actually thought it was a different map. So that's actually something that I probably need to work on myself, is like memorizing the map pool, because that really helps. I mean, in terms of you know, should I bring artillery? Should I bring like army with Vanguard? Is there places to hide my units with Vanguard deployment? That's like a really big factor in competitive play, and I think that's like a lot of high level players like just know most of the maps, and that's definitely one of the things that I'm lacking in. So I need to do my homework. A little bit of a load time here, my apologies, but now we are here. It is live, and it is time to party. So we're going to get Heinrich Kemmler and the boys. Hopefully they'll be able to take out some of these dinos. We'll see. We'll find out. Double Vargulfs and Heinrich. I forget the Chaos Tomb Blade. I hope I didn't. It's a pretty good item. This actually resurrects nearby opponent or allies and then nearby opponents. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? It's like just resurrecting Saurus. Like, what are you doing, Heinrich? All right, so we're going to get these guys kind of... I could have just done that, but I wanted a little bit more width. Although, yeah, let's just make them a little bit higher and tighter there. Heinrich's just going to be marching with the boys. He's very tough to snipe. With the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, like, even if Krokar's sitting on him, he has like a miserable HP pool, but he can survive, you know, situations that you wouldn't otherwise think he could. We're going to get some spears kind of just helping out. They're just going to buffer things up. We'll get the Black Knights. What do we have? Varix Reavers 2 and 3. So we're going to get group 2 on the far side, group 3 over here. They're basically just on skink hunting duty. These guys are better at hunting skinks because they do have pretty good armor values, and they also do have regeneration, so they're going to be somewhat, you know, a little bit more durable. These guys can be in one goon squad. Maybe we'll just kind of incorporate them with the main group in the beginning, just for the sake of simplicity. We'll put the Terrorgeist in group 4 so we can fly up and get breath attacks, and I think that should be it. All right, so good luck to my opponent. Let's see what happens. Let's have some fun. Heinrich Kemmler's ready to go. He's got his power goatee going on. Look at that thing. It's serious business. Lord of Undeath. They actually did I'm pretty sure you guys have talked about it in the comments as well, but they made it so KRELL doesn't degenerate as fast. I don't know if that goes for all summon units, but it seems like he does last a long time because, of course, there are ways to heal him, so he can generate some huge value. I wonder if he could beat Grimgor in a duel. I always got to take every opportunity I can to make fun of Grimgor and how terrible he is, but I wonder if he could beat Grimgor in a duel. That would be something interesting. Let's actually scoot up, since we're not trying to, like, yeah, we want the closest possible distance to our opponent. We're the vampire counts. We don't really have too many tricks up our sleeve, but you know what? We're spooky and scary. Looks like my opponent's got some shenanigans. See what his army size. 908. That definitely means some skanks, yeah. Like, the more narrow Lizardmen armies are, and that's something else. Like, familiarize yourself with the army counts of enemy armies when you play them. And usually Lizardmen armies, that's going to have chameleons for sure. Or skink cohorts with javelins, perhaps. One of the two. Both are going to be potentially pretty strong. And let's see what's going on. And there we go. There we have it. We have a big angry Jabba, so we're going to get the cav kind of going and collapsing on the flanks. And does he have any missile units? It looks like it's going to be Temple Guard, Saurus, Temple Guard, Spears, some Spears in the back. Proxy Wars, interesting. So Proxy Wars could potentially do work, but I think the... what's happening here? Did we find... Oh, we found the rats already! They're here. I knew the rats were going to be there somewhere. So thankfully we have the proper group. So we want to take an angle of pursuit. So we're going to ride like this way and then try and head them off from the main army. I think that'd be a little bit better. So 4, we're going to go ahead and get the breath attack and get it on the Mazda Miata over there. So we're taking that angle of pursuit. We're trying to corral these guys. And now that we have one of them kind of cordoned off there, we can go ahead. Breath attack definitely do good. So let's pull this guy back and let's get you kind of collapsing into those skink cohorts on the far side. Great. So let's go ahead and get the front line kind of partying forward. We'll get you guys going here, you guys going here, and now these guys can be in group 5, and they're just going to go after Jabba for now. We're going to kind of form a bit of a flank denial, so we're going to get the spears in there, and good. So the Black Knights have caught those skinks, which is great. These guys got a nice little charge. We're just going to let them melt that formation a little bit, and great. So yeah, we got the 2 Vargulfs here in group 5. Let's just get them on big Jabba there. You guys charging, you guys, why did you guys not charge? And then we were able to screen out the Croc Scores with spears, which is like perfect. So that's like a flank denial. Now he has to wrap all the way around, so we have the pretty good answers there. So let's actually go ahead and bounce over to the other side. Here we've done a really good job, so we're going to pull back with them. And I think it's time to summon KRELL, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to summon KRELL here. We're going to get the Terrorgeist going. We're just going to keep trying to go after Mazda Mundi. Let's get KRELL, have him engage there. And yeah, so we're kind of just denying my opponent's formation. Looks like, ooh, that could potentially hurt. So let's actually respond with an invocation of Nehek right there on those Graveguard. Yeah, that's going to help. That's going to help kind of counterbalance that a little bit. So we've got some really good pressure. Go ahead and put KRELL in group 6. And yeah, Mazda Mundi's taking some work. And you can see our Knights are doing a great job. These guys, so let's wrap them up and around here, and good. Yeah, so Banishment's underway. We've able to kind of deny his flank right here, and let's go ahead and pull these spears out here. Looks like there might be some treachery afoot, and I'm surprised he's not like defending Mazda Mundi a little bit more. I guess so. Most of his troops are kind of tied up, so let's get you guys going there. And you guys are hunting down the skinks, but now, yeah, we don't need to worry about that too much. Yeah, so we're just gonna pull these guys back here. You can have them get on those skink cohorts. Great. So right here, we're going to pop some of our various buffs, and we can also summon some dudes over there to kind of help out with that formation because it's obviously a relatively ugly one. Let's get you guys going here, you going here, and yeah, I think it's good. KRELL's just standing around being useless, as always. Come on, get in there, get in there. That's actually not true. He's not useless. He's a good boy. All right, so these spears are just going to help out. Let's get you guys going into the Proxy Wars. We'll get you guys kind of sweeping back here. And did you guys complete your orders and get around yet? Man, they're taking their sweet time. Well, at least they're dragging off a group of units that only cost about the same, give or take. So, oh, there's a good target for them right there, actually. So, we're going to go ahead and get them on those chameleons. Hopefully, they're able to kind of catch those guys off. Let's go ahead and get a fat heal right here, which is going to heal up the Graveguard. And great. So, the Terror guys just kind of keep working on Mazda Mundi. We need to chase off Zlok right there. And these Black Knights, we can go ahead and just kind of sweep them in there. We were able to finish off the Skinks, which is great. We'll get you guys some cinematics. Oh, yeah, look at that. Swiggity swooty. Charging those Lizardmen down. Definitely very happy about that engagement. Now the Vargulfs can kind of just go get Zlok right there. The Terrorgeist will go ahead and switch onto this. Let's get KRELL going here as well. And how are you doing, Heinrich? Let's get you going on the right target. So yeah, we've juked out those spears, which is good. How's this frontline engagement going? Let's actually charge these Saurus and just kind of finish them off and then rotate to the back. I think that'd be better. Send in the reserve spears into those Croc Scores right there. And yeah, so we're going to run these guys down pretty efficiently, I think. Get all these guys piling in. And we don't need both of those guys to chase them off, so let's just leave one. Oh, okay, or they can just kill them. That's fine. And we'll get those guys going in there. So we break those Saurus, which is good. We can just rotate back there, and let's pull you guys up and over this way. And you can actually move with shift, so if like you can draw lines, and the unit will move that way by holding down shift. For anyone of you guys who are wondering, I know I've been asked that. So is there anyone we really want to heal over here? We can heal these Varix Reavers. Let's go ahead and pull back and get these Skinks. Just kind of deal with their trolling ways. Got these guys, and everything looks good. That's gonna be it. GG to my opponent. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. It was yeah, the build worked pretty well. I don't think he was accounting enough for like the big vampire monsters. His army would have been pretty good against like a very wide vampire counts infantry and blood knight army. His Locke could have just hit on top of his infantry and like hit on top of his spears. But with the big monsters, we were able to just bully Mazda Mundi. And since he wasn't like defending Mazda Mundi, that efficiently, I was able to just kind of goon him with a lot of the Terrorgeist as well as the Vargeist or Vargulfs and stuff. I just get them all. KRELL, I think, did some pretty good damage. Heinrich, of course, was tanky in the front line. His Chaos Tombblade was very helpful against a lot of the infantry and, with my guys in the front and everything. And another tactic we really got to display in that game was going to be the flank denial. So you guys saw that when I engaged, I formed a secondary. I pulled my spears to the side. So then, since he had a wider formation than me, it forced him to march all the way around, which forces, number one, your opponent to micro. And it makes the numbers of his infantry a little bit less effective, especially against very slow Saurus, because it's going to take him like a year to get around there and, get through those guys. So that was pretty cool. The Black Knights, because the Chameleons would have been a very good answer against the Vargulfs. They could have just sat back there and picked them apart because Vargulfs are very squishy against missile play. But since I was able to hunt them down with the Black Knights, like that was just absolutely clutch from those guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my opponent. I don't know if Zlok isn't a bad choice, but if you're going to go with Zlok, you need to keep like your spears right on top of him as well as the Temple Guard. You can't really commit them to the front line. So these sort of spears plus the Temple Guard should have been protecting Mazdamundi, hence allowing him to just wreck my Graveguard because he was just got bullied so incredibly hard. So that was really tough. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Vampire Count game with Heinrich and KRELL, and we will see you guys next time. Have an excellent night, guys, and take care.